Hey, Shalom Israel. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rahakadash, the honest, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, blessings to the elect. Pushing the word across the four corners of earth, risking your life to do so. And the brother Shimon, Great Millstone, Chicago. And as you can see, things are heating up. Things are heating up. And the thing is, right now, all the nations are fighting over logistics. Right, they're fighting over logistics, like in this war between Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine is targeting a lot of the Russian crude oil plants because it's very expensive. All right, and you have what's called debt trap diplomacy. Right, where hey, we'll be friends with you, we'll loan you this amount of money, but in your country, you have to give us support, or you have to give us ownership over this particular property. All right, which in the U.S. they kind of refuse to do that with China. Now they'll loan it to certain people, but they'll only allow them to have so much control. But in these other nations like Jamaica, like what's another one? It's a lot in the Caribbean. All right, China is deep in the Caribbean. They're doing this with a lot of places in the Caribbean and South America too. Basically, they'll give them, they'll help them with infrastructure. They'll help them with shipments. But again, we own a piece of what you have, your land. And there is no year of Jubilee, so you may never get it back. All right, but we know according to prophecy, it's not going to matter. All right, because the U.S. and the rest of the NATO and the EU basically, along with Israel, is going to be the last regime in the age of the Gentiles. All right, but real quick, I just had a little bit of info, a couple of scriptures, because we're definitely on prophecy watch, man. That's the main thing, prophecy. If somebody calls themselves a prophet and they're not talking about prophecy, then they're fooling you. All right, it says Russia's foreign ministry issued a new warning to the Trump administration, escalating tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela, which the U.S. actually has ships in the Caribbean blocking anything from leaving Venezuela. It says, when is that legal? But they're saying that since it's a narco state, hey, we have the right to do so. And all these nations are seeing the example because Venezuela has been in the pocket of the U.S. for a long time. All these nations are seeing that, hey, if you get into bed with the U.S. and with Israel and with all these other countries, you're going to have to let them come to your land. They're going to have to plunder. If they find you guilty of some shit, then you might be, you might have to, what they say, you got to check in and bring a gift with you. All right, which is wicked, man. The scriptures say, an extortioner is not going to make it to the kingdom of heaven. You can't extort people. All right, but that's the U.S., man. There's a lot of extortion going on. All right, it says, we note continuous and deliberate attempts to escalate tensions with our ally Venezuela. That's why you have a lot of nations joining BRICS. Right? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Indonesia. All right, it says, we note unilateral decisions creating a threat to international shipping are particularly alarming, the ministry said in a statement, per the Russia's TAS news agency. Yeah, they got rid of RT News, which they're saying is paid for by, the Russian government. But all media goes back to the government. But RT did provide a more diversified point of view. They allow people to come on and speak, and then, you had the Kaiser report, And some of it probably was propaganda, but it was way better than Western media. It says, hopefully the Trump administration, known for pursuing a rational and practical policy course, will stop short of making a fatal mistake and refrain from escalating things down a path that may cause unpredictable consequences for the Western Hemisphere. And that's exactly what this third war is going to be. Well, for these people, it's going to be unpredictable consequences. For us, it's going to be yep, we called it. Jeremiah 50:45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. See, that's where we're at. The land of the Chaldeans. It's another name for Mystery Babylon, another name for America. All right, the place of witchcrafts and witches and deceit. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. That's Amalek, the least of the flock. All right, which they're running a campaign. They're loading up because they talking about attacks against them is at an all-time high. Meanwhile, they're over there bombing the shit out of people. And they are in a war with, I want to say it's like about 10 nations over there who want a piece of them. It says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. All right. Yeah. This habitation is about to become desolate. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved. Boom! And the cry is heard among the nations. All right. This is the smoke is her burning. They're gonna see it from afar off. Everybody, it will be televised. The revolution will be televised. Right? And certain of the elect are gonna be on the see it. They're gonna be in the chariots, watching it all happen, watching boom, boom, boom. Right? Yeah, Russia is the king of the Medes that it talks about in prophecy, Isaiah 13, and because this is what's going to happen. Verse 11, let's start. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. All right, and these people are terrible. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So, and that's the times that we're coming in. If you don't have a man of the Lord, you got one of these weak wimps, these little I can't say that, but one of these little soy boy, effeminate, new age dudes. All right, streamer, like and subscribe to me, all this soft ass shit. All right, that's it for you. If you're not of the elect, with the men, if you're not of the elect, this is it for you. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. So shit is going to get bad, so bad a lot of these nations are going to get the fuck up out of here. And we're coming into them times. Trump is speaking on the Somalis and shit, and they're like, hold on. But, the Somalis doing what every other nation do. They play the system. All right, they come over here. We've been saying it for years, man. But now people caught on. They come over here. They get on stamps. They get on Section 8. They get everything. Okay, then they get years to build up, and then they'll have a little set aside job for them. Or if they were a truck driver, they'll just instantly give them a CDL. No testing, none of that shit. All right, don't even test to see if the motherfucker know English or not, and that's what's going on now. People are complaining about these guys are getting in accidents and doing U-turns with a 53-foot trailer Like, what the fuck is it? Or jumping out, 10 deep, everybody with flip flops on who can't speak English. All right, and I've seen my share of. Right, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So it don't matter what deal you got with Esau. It doesn't matter. All right, and two interesting things I saw. The Germans are actually rearming, because they use that NAZI thing for the longest to keep them disarmed and weak. And that's why a lot of the technology started to fall off too. Because the Germans are warlike people. Those are the kind of the top engineers. But they're getting ready. All right, then the Japanese. And if you know history, at the end of World War II, these were the bad guys. The Japanese, we dropped a bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They surrendered. But yeah, that's some wild shit right there. Basically, they're rearming. All right, Revelation 11:14. The second war is past, and behold, the third war cometh quickly. The third destruction, the third world war. All right, the third world war. I was looking up this term for third world, which has no relation to the third world war, because people say it's a third world country. Well, this just refers to. Matter of fact, it tells you the term third world country has nothing to do with poverty. It simply refers to countries after World War II. Okay, so it does have something to do with the war that did not align with either the Western U.S. aligned coalition or the Soviet bloc. So if you wasn't with the Soviet bloc or you wasn't with the Western powers, right? I want to say the Allies versus the Axis is what they called it. You were a third world country, which in this third world, you're gonna be aligned with somebody. You're gonna have to be aligned with somebody. I was looking at something in Sudan. They're talking about the infighting going on with these dumb Canaanites, and basically one side is being backed by Ishmael, and the others being backed by Put and the other Hamite nations, and they over there getting dusted, man. Just through. Canaan is through. Right? All the sons of the Ham are through. That's why it's time for you Israelites over there to wake the fuck up. Right? Yeah, they not like us. They ain't. Those ain't our brothers. Okay, only the Israelites who are scattered over there. We don't need to be over there teaching, trying to. We need to go to these, man. Then people came out with choppers, tear gas, throwing rocks. Are you dumb? Let them do what they're gonna do. All right, but check out these BRICS countries. All right, original BRIC countries. Yep, new members. 13 partner countries. So, and that's stretching all the way over here. Then I went to this because it's ultimately the Lord. It's ultimately the Lord. So the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. Right, countries currently at war. Ukraine. These are the casualties. Ukraine 60,000. Palestine 16,000. Sudan 14,000. Yeah, they in Sudan. Is genocide going on there. Myanmar. Right, Nigeria. You got more. Yeah, they all in Africa, man. Africa's just done. Insurgency is And everything going on is either BRICS or NATO backed. That's how they get these weapons. And then these people are so dumb and so low level. They can't even come together and politicize and build up their own infrastructure and keep out the Western powers because they're base. Right, shit, and the Jake too, Mexico, Haiti, Colombia, Ecuador. Yeah, the beast has to be punished, man. Like we just read Isaiah 13. Anybody joined to everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. They just got to be moved. He that let he that letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. He got to be taken out of the way. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces for their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Right? And this is not talking about the Medo, because you got the Medo-Persian Empire. The Medes were, or the people of Media, were Japhetic. This is talking about Russia, who was in the lands that they were in. All right, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. And shit, uh, the EU pretty much is funneling in oil through that pipeline and getting paid. Excuse me, paying them for their crude, but it's not gonna matter. And they're not motivated by money, right? Because the Soviets actually crashed and went to sleep. You know, who was the drunk president? I want to say it was Gorbachev. But basically, they went to sleep for a time, but now they're back awake. All right, that's what it means when it talks about that. And I saw a beast with the feet of the bear. Yeah, Russia's just the last part of Esau's rulership. They get the last little hoorah to ride on them, but they get fucked up. I believe that's in Ezekiel 39. Right, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. It's another hint that is talking about America. All right, because there's people over there right now inhabiting Iraq and over in the Euphrates, Tigris River over in that region. There's people over there right now. All right, it's talking about this place. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. Exactly. All right. So these are the things that's going to happen. This is why Esau's so scared, because this word is going out and it's helping to weaken their image, which they want to remain strong. But when they have, some random Amalekite with his hand over Trump's shoulder and Trump, kissing their ass and shit, people can see that like, okay, I see what it is. You're either going to be joined with these people or you're going to be joined against them. And you're going to have to play the game. Right? And for you Israelites, all of you who want to be joined with them, shit, when you play that game, you lose, and you know you do. Right? You go out bad too. You go out like Diddy. Might have a little get a little purse, get a little bag, but ultimately everyone joined to them is gonna be thrust through. All right, so you got to pick a side, man. Who you gonna serve? I see people jump in and understand they're Israelite, and then they want to jump to level 1,000. Well, it's time for the elders to come out of the way, and then new people to jump up, and then, oh, it's this new doctrine that no. The doctrine is still the same. All right, the doctrine is still the same. It's gonna remain the same because it's the truth. Right? There's gonna come a time when the scriptures talk about the hour of temptation, where you're going to be tempted to make a choice, okay, to be joined to this place, right? Or you're going to be joined to the Lord, you know. Now, of course, some Edomites are going to not take this, because a lot of them, I've met a lot of them who I actually know. Revelation 13 and 50. Oh, that's the MOTB. I would never take that. I done met some of them in Missouri and Tennessee and Illinois, and I done met a lot of them. And I'll just say it, you know, they'll be talking about something, and I said, well, what do you think about that microchip? And they instantly, they know exactly what the fuck it is. All right, so hey, if you can't get it, you can't get it. But shalom to the elect, because the elect is gonna get it.